Hey there, SVG gamers. So we're here with a very long time since we put up an unboxing video, and Sam's been saving up for it, and we've been kind of building up for this. It's actually the Iron Hills Dwarves. So Sam got a little bit of everything, and we're going to go and unbox it and go over it. We got the new book, and we got all the new models. So first we're going to start off, and we're going to go over the Iron Hills Dwarves, because they're the basic troop and they're pretty much going to be the backbone of any army. So Sam, I'll let him open the box since it is his models. So basically, I looked over the rules for him and the models, and I've had the book since it came out. I pre-ordered it. And basically it looks like it's going to be an army of Khazad Guard. The way they're strength 4, they're going to be fight 4, so they're Khazad Guard pretty much, okay. So we got very nice looking instructions. So the box comes with the box, and it has the instructions. Very nice looking, and it has a nice picture. And then it has Hobbit SVG, Forge World. So that's impressive. I like that. That's cool. I don't think they ever did that nice before. Alright, so Sam opened it up, and we got the dwarves there on these Forge World style. I've actually never really seen Forge World models because I've pretty much been a Hobbit purist, so that's pretty cool. So we got them. Can't really see it, but
detail.
They got really nice detail. I remember seeing a guy at Games Workshop we played, and I saw that they had really nice detail on the models. And when you assemble them, their poses, they're very action. It looks like realistic kind of action pose. So that's that. They're a little bit shiny and glossy. I know that you have to wash the models off. Forge World has like a wax or something on it. So just for everyone who ever buys these, so you know. Okay, so that's cool. So let me go over the rules and stats real quick. The Airborne Warriors are pretty much going to be the backbone of your Iron Hills army. So, okay, so they're Iron Hills Dwarves. So they got the shield wall rule. So if a model is armed with a shield wall in base contact with 2 or more models with a special rule armed with a shield, this model gains +1 to its defense. So, and then this model has to be on foot. Only available on foot. That's actually a question I had earlier because I was looking, the captain has the same rule. And I was wondering if he'd have that while he was on a ram. So, stat-wise, fight 4, movement 5, strength 4, defense 7, 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 4. That's a pretty beefy stat line. And then +1 to defense. So, have a defense 8 shield wall. So, we've been playing for a long time. And that's something as we've always kind of talked about, is having a shield wall rule would be really cool. Especially like Fountain Guard and stuff. So hopefully that's something they'll put into later kind of profiles. So, okay, so they can take a Matic for free in exchange for their shield. They can exchange their shield for crossbows. They can they can purchase a spear, and then they can purchase a banner. So it's average upgrades. And then their war gear, they come with heavy armor, sword, and shield. So I'm assuming that means sword means they can feint, spear, heavy armor. And then I know that the Matic models have been released, the picture of them released. So the banner has 2, which is cool. That's really cool. Alright, so Sam, what do you think about the models? I'm looking at them.
The details, man, it's great. I can't wait to, scrub them of the gloss finish and then put some paint on them, bring them to life.
Let me look. So I was watching a Twitter, I think it was this here. Is actually flash. It's not supposed to be on the spear. The round part.
Really?
Yeah, that's just flash. So you're supposed to cut that off. I know some people have left it just because it looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
So, alright, so we did the Airborne Warriors. I figured next we would do the Command, which is I'll show you this. The Command, which is the Banner Bearer and the Captain. Alright, so we pre-cut it open, just because it made it a little easier. Okay, so we got 2 big shields. A sprue with the banner and spear. Alright, so here's the captain model, and here's the banner bearer model. And I'm just saying, like I said, I've never really owned a Forge World model. I've never seen them up until kind of recently, like the Hobbit stuff. But the detail on these guys, like the fur on the captain's cape, it's outstanding. So that's them, that's the command. And then Sam has the banner and spear. Has really nice detail on that. A little bit of flash. Forge World models, I noticed that they don't have as much flash as the as like the regular Games Workshop ones. Like I have an army of the Mirkwood elves, and I had to spend a lot of time trimming them and getting the flash off of them. So I like that. That's nice. And price wise, it's not that bad. I mean, my Mirkwood army, 3 elves for around $25, and for this is about $40. You get a whole warband, so it's a pretty good deal. And that's their shields. Sam, what are you thinking about the captain model? I really like his cape.
Yeah, the cape's from the hood, right.
So, that was a nice little surprise, because I wasn't expecting him to come out with an actual captain model. So, well, one that looked like that. I mean, I thought it was really cool. So, I'll go over the captain real quick. Airborne captain.
Running my fingers over these models, I can feel that overlay or texture they use. I can kind of feel it rubbing off. I can understand why you'd want to brush that off. It doesn't feel like the paint would really stick to that very well.
Okay, so oops, back here. So, I guess the captains would be past it. Dain Secret. There's a captain.
Put some good ideas for some color schemes in the comments. I'd like to know your opinions.
Okay, so those goat riders. I can't find the captain. No picture for him, that's why. So there's captain of the guard for Lake Town. There's Percy, Bard, Sun. Oh, Iron Hill's captain. Alright, it was before Thranduil's profile. Alright, so they have the shield wall rule as well. Same thing, they get +1 to their defense. Tactical awareness. Now this is the rule that I've looked at, and I'm like, okay, well I can see now why. Okay, so for a competitive build, I think these captains are actually going to be really nice because they have this tactical awareness. So when an enemy model within 6 inches calls a heroic action, roll a d6. On a 5+, the model may immediately call the same heroic action without expending might. So that's a pretty good rule. It's similar to like a Taskmaster for Harad, where you could maybe exhaust your opponent's might and still have it. I mean, it is a 5-up, which is a relatively high number, but I mean,
why not?
Yeah, it's nice.
I'll take it.
So they're similar to like an old school Durnsfolk captain. Fight 5, defense 8, 2 attack, 2 wounds, courage 5, 2 might, 1 will, 1 fate. They can take a goat, which then would negate their shield wall rule, and they can take a Matic, which is free for exchange for their spear. So that's a pretty nice little profile for a captain, especially with that rule and shield wall. So he can be potentially defense 9 if you have him on foot with troops, which is a really nice rule. So, all right, so we're going over kind of the models. So next we will do the goat riders. So these just came out relatively recently. We cut this one, pre-cut it open as well. Oh, upside down. So that's what they look like when they're painted. And it looks like there are a lot of pieces in there. So we got
the size.
Yep. I mean, they look. Again, the detail on them is outstanding. Like you could tell the armor on the goats. Their armor. It's outstanding. I know when Thranduil comes out on the Ram, I'm going to get it the day it comes out. I'm pre-ordering it.
Looks like we got some detailed terrain to add to the bases.
Some bases, yep. That's nice. That's really nice.
Standard cavalry base.
Yep, 40 millimeter. And then looks like they'll be in some really cool looking poses, like they're kind of leaping around.
Yeah.
That's nice. Alright. So, let me go over their profile real quick. I know that when I saw their profile, it made me think of Minister of Knights. They're very similar. Okay, so Iron Hills Goat Rider. Okay. So they may exchange their War Spear for a Matic, and they may take a banner. So they have the Mountain Dweller rule, which I believe means you get a +1 to your dice roll when jumping. So like, I think most goblins have it. I know like the scouts, the dwarf rangers have it. So it's a really good rule. So War Spear is similar to the Harad. I think Harad have the same thing. A War Spear follows the rule of a lance if the wielder is mounted, and a spear if the wielder is on foot. So if your ram dies, then your guy can still use the spear as a spear, which is a cool rule, as a lance. They have a Matic. They actually come with the Matic. That's really cool. So the guy is the same stat as the airborne warrior, and the ram is pretty much an armored horse, but it has no attack value, so it does flee if the rider dies.
And it moves a little slower than a horse.
And it moves a little slower as inch movement, which is a common theme with all the dwarf cavalry. Yeah, so I mean, so that's pretty cool. Their War Spear is for free. I think if I went over that with the Matic, so you exchange it. So that's them. So next we will go over the Iron Hills Ballista. The old twirly whirly. There isn't really a picture on the box of it, and I've seen quite a few pictures. I've seen some other stuff, and I know that it's really detailed as well. It's really big. So Sam, I'll let you do the honors of opening it. So let me go to this page. I know that I actually had a game, me and my buddy, we went and played at a Games Workshop. It was me and him. I was playing the elves, so we had the elves and the dwarves for Battle 5 Armies, which was really cool. And we versed a guy playing 2,000 points. We were doing 2,000 points, 1,000 points each. So a guy had 1,000 points worth of Goblin Town, a guy had 1,000 points worth of Harad. So we were outnumbered by a lot, and he had Twirly Whirly, and it's a really cool model, the way it works. It's relatively cheap. I think it's cheap for a siege engine like it is. So it has instructions, nice instructions. I'll let you show them up, Sam. Let me get the profile up. And then the other side has a picture of it painted and assembled. Really cool picture. Here's the Chariot. Here's the Ballista. Okay, so Iron Hills Ballista crew is pretty much an airborne warrior. You can upgrade it with a captain, engineer captain, superior construction, and additional dwarf crew guys. So reliable. I think other siege engines have this. It scatters 3 inches rather than 6, which is a really good rule. It has the old twirly whirly rule. Iron Hills Ballista always counts as calling heroic shot, which is a really good rule. There is no need to spend might. Additionally, the Ballista follows the rule for volley fire, which means it doesn't need line of sight to shoot, or when it's shooting a target, but you'll still have to roll in the ways. Shooting attacks that are strength 6 or less. Okay, so yeah, here's the rule that makes them good for someone like elves or crossbow kind of armies like Isengard. So you shoot in a straight line pretty much, and whatever hits that straight line cannot shoot past it. So, okay, so we go over it. So draw a line of center the ballista to the center of the marker, and then I think it's within 3 inches of that line as well. So, shooting attacks that are strength 6 or less cannot target any model within 3 inches of that line. For the remainder of the turn, additionally, shooting attacks that are strength 6 or less cannot be made if they cross the line at any point. If a shooting attack that is strength 7 or more within 3 inches, you have to roll a d6. On a 5+, the shooting attack is prevented. So another siege engine trying to shoot past. That's a pretty solid rule. It's a pretty solid piece. Now here's what happened in our game. We had one of that, and then we had Bard on the Windlands, and he had Goblin Scribe, and he just kept spawning goblins and getting the team, and eventually he started killing the crew. So it really hurt us because it was a relatively big point sink to have two siege engines like that. So I'll let you go and show them the detail on the. So we got that, and I remember it was really good detail. Look over there. Here's like the bolt part. Shoot them there.
What's the base? It's actually got a little bit of weight to it.
Yep, I heard it was actually pretty heavy. Well, I remember I picked it up because I was looking at it was pretty hefty when it's assembled. Here's the crew. I think one of these guys is captain.
I think it's the guy that's pointing.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other guys are operators.
Guy pointing right there on the right. So they also, I'm really impressed with the detail level on all of them. So I'm really excited to see. I haven't seen any of the Gundabad stuff in person yet, but I can't wait to see it. So, lastly, the last thing we have to show you is the big man himself, Dain.
Came in a pretty nice box.
Yeah, it was a different box. I remember seeing when they first got released back in November. I remember seeing people doing unboxings. I was impressed with that box. It's actually part of the character series. If you look on Forge World's website, I think they're going to specifically have characters in boxes like that. So open it to smell it. Smells like Forge World. Alright, so Dain comes with the instructions. That looks like it's about like the Thranduil model and all that is similar, but it's a lot nicer of a box. And the Thranduil came in a blister like the Ram, the goats, and the command.
Oh man, looks like he's got quite the mountain to sit on. Mountain's probably matching his ego.
The fiery temper, Dain. Alright, so pull this stuff. Out of all the new stuff in this book, he to me is one of the scariest models in it in terms of what he can do. I just have a feeling he's gonna be a tough guy. Alright, so Dain Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hills. So his stat line is similar to every other dwarf lord. So he's fight 6, 5-inch movement, strength 5, defense 8, 3 attack, 3 wounds, courage 7. He's 3 might, 3 will, 3 fate. It's really solid right there, that stat line. Okay, so right off the bat, strength 5. That is pretty scary. Then you look at his war gear: heavy dwarf armor and a 2-handed hammer. So he can go 2-handed with strength 5. That's pretty hardy. But the thing is he has several special rules that kind of make him unique to every other dwarf. So one, he can be on a pig, which is defense 6, 2 wounds. So it's hardy. It moves 8 inches. Okay, so fiery temper. As soon as Dain Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hill, kills an enemy model for the rest of the game, Dain is in range of charge. He must do so if he's able. So it's similar to Beorn. So when I first read the rules, you can kind of kite him away and do this, but no. It means he has to be in combat. It doesn't mean so. If he can charge, he has to. So he can never not be in combat as soon as he kills his first guy, which he probably will do pretty easily. Okay, so he has fearsome charge. If in the turn that Dain Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hills, charges in the battle, he causes terror until the end of the turn. So it helps him out quite a bit. And then he has his headbutt rule.
That's probably one of my favorites.
So if Lord of the Iron Hills wins a duel roll but fails to slay his opponent, select one man size or smaller model in the fight. On roll a d6 on the roll of 5 up, Dain will headbutt that model and knock him to the ground. So again, I mean, oh, and then I forgot he has one more rule. Dain Ironfoot is alive on the battlefield. All Iron Hills Dwarves, Iron Hills Captains, Iron Hills Goat Riders, Iron Hills Chariots within 12 inches of Dain automatically pass all courage tests they are required to make. So, I mean, when I look at this army, he's probably like the first hero I'd put in it, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, his stat line is great. He buffs your troops. He's going to be pretty hard to kill, and he can kill stuff pretty easily. So, we've been making lists, because we're already making lists for Nova. And we're talking, so Sam, we've been kind of going over this. Sam's list is pretty elite, and every Iron Hills list we've made so far have been pretty elite. So basically, you're going to have 2 warbands, Dain, and he has Thorn, right?
Yeah.
And a captain. So we were trying to make a list. I think that's unless you take Thorn out and put another captain with a few extra warriors, that's going to be about the best we can get for the point values we've been doing. So, I mean, I'm really excited to see how this stuff works. I mean, I'm excited that GW is releasing models again, and that we're finally going to have like the stuff we've been wanting. I mean, I've been wanting to see Dwarves.
Yeah.
Chariot.
I've been wanting this a long time.
The Chariots, stuff like that. So it's really exciting. And hey, I mean, we're expecting. When Thranduil comes out and Rohan stuff starts coming out, I'm going to be buying it. We'll be having a lot more unboxings. So This has been really fun for me, actually, because I haven't really seen this stuff in person either. So, well, I've seen it assembled, but I haven't seen the captains and stuff yet. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, if you like this and want to see more unboxings, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. It's much appreciated. So, with that, we're gonna say happy wargaming, guys.
See you next time.